Welcome back, guys. Yes, we are still finding new glitches in Assassin's Creed Odyssey even in 2023, and boy oh boy, this game has never been more fun. So it was about time to give you a complete new guide about all the new working glitches for Assassin's Creed Odyssey in 2023 and beyond, because we had some really cool findings in the past 3 months. A really cool new thing I found in one of my new early builds is the early game money farm, which is really working so well that you can afford anything basically just at the start of the game. Achaia is a very high level region which is located right next to Kefalonia. There's a city called Patrai and there's also the Patrai wall run. Go to the story creator mode website, search for Patrai wall run and add it to your story log. The Patrai wall run is really special because Achaia is normally a level 42 region. That means every item you collect here will be level 42 minimum. And due to the high level, even the common items will sell for over 200 drachme and the rare ones will sell for over 600. You can cancel and redo the story mission at any time or even replay it as often as you want to. You can also use any other story just to reset the weapon racks. It is just important that you collect the weapons in Achaia from the Patrai wall. Selling all these high level items will give you so much money so quickly that you can easily afford to buy the Blade of Yumminess or everything you want to. However, you should not waste too much time to grind money or materials on lower levels, because the same amount of materials you collect in 30 minutes on lower levels will be just collected in 2 seconds on higher levels, which is 900 times faster. Of course, there's also a version that gives you early free XP, which is called the Patrai wall run with XP. You can also get this and play this wall run to level up faster, or you play any other wall run in the game, such as the Athens wall run, which is also really working fine. It is undeniable that these missions will have an impact on your money or on your XP gain very early in the game. But there are much better ways to gain money and XP, especially later in the game. So doing them forever will actually just slow you down, and you should focus on other things to get more XP and money. One of the most efficient ways to get more XP is just by accepting every possible contract on every contract column. These are just basic tasks that you will complete anyway when playing the game, so you will just get additional XP for it without having to focus on them. Any story creator mission, even the best ones, will not go beyond 50,000 XP per minute, and doing them will be a complete grind fest. And that is still less than when you actually play the arena, which will give you over 70,000. After reaching level 50, you should actually get the Atlantis DLC, because the base game was only meant to be played until you reach the level cap, which was level 50. After that, you should actually play the Atlantis DLC, because the Atlantis DLC will give you so much XP that you will easily reach level 99. It will give you 6 times the XP than in the normal game. But the real broken stuff in this game is much crazier. One of the most broken things that were added with the new Corfu DLC is the Corfu engraving, or Champion Ostraka. You can find this tablet at the Collidi farm in the north of Corfu Island, and the solution for it will be in the northeastern part at the docks. The engraving it unlocks states that it actually gives you 100% damage but minus 100% resistances, which will in return actually give you 200% instead of the written 100%. And it's not only staying at 200%, because when you use the damage conversion you can actually convert another 100% and give it to the other 2 types. So you will actually get 300% damage in total when you use this engraving together with the damage conversion. The minus 100% resistances was often seen as a big negative effect and people didn't like to use this engraving, but during last year we actually found a way to completely mitigate this effect, because when you play with minus 100% resistance you will actually receive the double amount of damage than normally. And by knowing that, we can actually use the ignore half damage to actually get back from double damage to be normal damage. So 100% ignore half damage in your build will actually completely counter the negative effect of the minus 100% resistances, and playing with it will feel like if you had the normal 0% resistance. In the category biggest glitches of all time, we definitely have to name the Bighorn Bow, because the Bighorn Bow is single-handedly the best item in the game and the biggest and most broken thing you can actually do in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The Bighorn Bow is a glitched item that actually adds all its DPS to your left melee weapon. That means it multiplies all your left melee weapon damage by a factor of 1.6 by adding all its 6495 DPS to it. And that is not the only thing, because by using the Bighorn Bow you will also use your warrior damage while shooting arrows. So by using the Bighorn Bow you will get around the double amount of warrior damage for any build you put it in, and you will get around 4 times the hunter damage because it uses your warrior damage. Of course, it still depends on the quality of your build. If your build sucks, it won't magically make it a good one. If you deal 10,000 damage, you will get 16,000 damage with the Bighorn Bow. If you deal 1 million, you will get 1.6 million. And if you deal 10 million damage, you will get 16 million. It is an insane multiplier for all your damage you have in your build. Both glitches, the Corfu engraving and the Bighorn Bow, require some special builds to be most efficient. So I really recommend you to check out the latest builds from this channel to get the most out of these two glitches. There are a lot of healing glitches we have found while playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and one of the latest ones is from the Captain and the Cyclops Ostraka, which can also be found on Corfu Island. This engraving gives you 100% headshot damage, but also increases all your adrenaline consumption by 50%. However, these 50% are not real 50%, it will just consume half an additional adrenaline bar for every ability you use. And half of an adrenaline bar is actually getting quickly refilled in a matter of seconds. So you actually don't lose anything, but by using Second Wind with 2 adrenaline, you will actually be able to fully heal yourself in almost every situation, which is really crazy. Because Second Wind will give you 50% health and you will get an additional 2 times 10% from adrenaline spent mastery, which will give you 70% in total when you're playing at full health, and it will give you 32.5% health when you're playing at 25% health. And these 32% are of course more than 25 and will always completely heal. And it will even heal you at full health as long as your health bar isn't red. So you have a really powerful Second Wind. But a much better healing glitch is the torch glitch, which heals you completely by just pulling out your torch and switching back to your weapon. But sometimes when you mess up your weapon, it just refuses to work, which can be risky. To perform this glitch, you have to hold down right on your D-pad and then press the heavy attack or light attack button to switch back to your melee weapons. That will completely heal yourself without using any ability. This even works when you play with the Blade of Yamines, so you can completely heal yourself in battle with the Blade of Yamines. However, it will only work if you have the reduced 25% health, but it is a complete game changer because it heals you entirely. You will be back to complete full health without having to worry about losing your crit chance or your crit damage multiplier ever again. If you already wondered about the glowing spear earlier in this video, that is the Ares Madness ability, and this ability is completely glitched when you use it in the Greek world. When you run around in the DLC, it's no problem, you deal a normal amount of damage, but when you activate Ares Madness in the Greek world, it suddenly deals 7 times the amount of damage, which means when you have a high assassin damage, you will deal up to 18 million damage from the activation blast. It is really awesome and makes a lot of fun when you use it in conquest battles, in boss fights or whatever. The only real downside of that ability is the 2-minute cooldown, but that can be completely removed by using one special perk from the Northern Traveler set. The engraving, which is also unlocked by the Northern Traveler set, is not minus 15%, but in fact it is also minus 50%. So even with the engraving, when you engrave it on your epic gear, you only have to make 2 kills to reset that ability. So instead of using the Northern Traveler set, you should use this engraving in your much better epic gear. In combination with the Northern Traveler set, there is actually another glitch which can make you completely invincible literally forever when you do it correct. The trick is to use the ISO Enhance engraving together with the Northern Traveler's perk engraving, because ISO Enhance also has a 2-minute cooldown and it resets whenever you use Ares Madness. And when you use Ares Madness during ISO Enhance, you will also completely reset ISO Enhance and it will always protect you. But that is not the only thing, because when you use ISO Enhance and Ares Madness at the same time, you will also be able to use your abilities and deal assassin damage with them. You can actually get over 11 million damage with Ring of Chaos and over 19 million damage with Bull Rush when you use these two abilities together. To get even more damage, you can use the Typhoon's Axe. The Typhoon's Axe has an insane 200% critical bonus that only activates when you use flaming attacks. However, it does not activate when you just hit a normal random civilian. You normally have to go inside of combat, let you spot by an enemy to trigger this effect. But there's a new trick which you can use to get this work every time. The trick is just as follows. When you only activate your flaming attacks once, you will not get the Typhoon's Axe bonus. But when you switch on Shadow of Nyx and activate it again, you will get immediately the Typhoon's Axe bonus. And that means you can even use your Typhoon's Axe bonus on unaware targets, and it will also work on civilians every time you do that. Shadow of Nyx will interrupt your flaming attacks ability, and if you activate flaming attacks again, you will immediately get the Typhoon's Axe bonus. That means you can use it now on every target and not only during combat, which makes it even better than ever before. And if you still don't have enough damage, you should actually check out the Corfu Island glitch. Sadly, this only works on Corfu Island, but with this trick you will get over 20 million damage with a single arrow, 500,000 warrior damage in your inventory, which also means that you shoot arrows with 500,000 hunter damage, which is completely insane, and you will also get over 1.3 million assassin damage. That is because on Corfu Island at some point you will get a free 300% assassin damage. If you combine that with the convert assassin damage to all damage engraving, if you equip the Bighorn Bow, the Corfu engraving and also equip the Blade of Yumminess on top of it, you will get over 538,000 warrior damage and 1.3 million assassin damage. That is over 1076% warrior damage, the highest value I've ever achieved while still being at 95% crit chance. If you want to know more about how to make these builds and how these glitches actually work, then check out the links in the description of this video. One of the smaller glitches in Assassin's Creed Odyssey is the Polemarch glitch, but if done correct, you can get an insane amount of damage out of it. Because whenever you hit an enemy from behind, you get a 40% damage multiplier. That is an additional 1.4 times damage. But when you hit Polemarchs from behind, these multipliers turn out to be 400%, or in other words, 4 times the damage. So whenever you hit a Polemarch from behind or when he is sleeping, you will get 4 times the damage than usual for your attacks. And this can be abused to get a new damage world record, and together with the new champion Ostraka from Corfu Island with the damage conversion and with the Typhoon's Axe, which also gives you another 200% critical damage, I achieved a new record of 1.8 billion. That is 1,800 million damage. If you want to know how this is done, I definitely recommend you to check out the linked video in the description for the world record. There's a step-by-step guide that explains you everything you have to do to achieve that, including the whole build I used for it. In August 2021, Assassin's Creed Odyssey received a next-gen update for 60 FPS. That was really cool because it also enhanced the rock launch. Rock launch is a glitch where you can shoot yourself across the entire map at lightning speed. And it is heavily dependent on the FPS of your system. So having 60 FPS now allows you to shoot yourself farther and faster away than ever before. To execute this glitch, you have to crouch towards a sharp edge or rock and then press the aim button to glitch into the rock and then shoot right through it across the entire map. It is really hard to do, so you have to try it multiple times to find the right rocks or right edges. But if you do it correctly and you push your aim button in the last moment before you hit the rock, the momentum of your character will push you right through it. There's a much better rock launch guide linked in the description from the speedrunner Morphine, who makes heavily use of it in his speedruns. One glitch that I really love to use very often is the animation cancel. Attacks like Furious the Bloodline, Overpower or Hero Strike can deal all its damage in just a single strike. For that, the enemy has to be in a certain position. Like here, when the enemy is riding on a horse, you can deal all the damage in just a single hit because there's no animation to do that. The same works also when you hit animals or civilians with a Hero Strike or with an Overpower attack. You will get all the damage just in a single hit when you do that. Another very good example is different elevation, like here on the staircase. That is also working to make an animation cancel. We can simply use an Overpower attack, refill it with Fury, and then immediately make another Overpower attack because we already have all our adrenaline back. So you can really abuse that, of course. And also the mythical creatures cannot interact with you. They will also get all the damage at once. And last but not least, when enemies are lying on the ground, you hit them with Overpower or Fury, you will also deal all the damage at once. One of the most important tricks to get the perfect epic gear in this game is to use the Blacksmith reload. The Blacksmith reload can best be done in a double Blacksmith location. Here, for example, in Patrai, or in Arcadia in Tegea, or in Argos in Argolis. Simply make a manual save before you talk to the blacksmith. Then you can always reload that save if you don't like their inventories. It actually happens that the blacksmith have up to 2 different inventories, so you have to talk to them twice every time and then check out all their items. And if you don't like them, of course, reload that manual save, and then you will have different items at the blacksmith. And of course, if you find one item, then you have to save, and then you will also save log these inventories. In order to make them have new inventories, you then have to level up 2 times. Every time you level up, the blacksmith will get 1 new inventory. So in the meantime, you should use another blacksmith and do the trick at another blacksmith location. If you have the Atlantis DLC, you can very easily collect 550,000 drachmae for just getting the golden egg from Project Olympic. If you kill that chicken, he drops the golden egg, which can be sold for 550,000 drachmae at once. If you also need more ability points, then the Atlantis DLC will also greatly help you out on that, because the Atlantis DLC has 18 free ability points in each episode. This is a total of 54 points from the Atlantis DLC, and plus the 22 points from the base game, you will get over 76 points in every New Game Plus. With all the additional XP from all the story quests, you will easily get up to 90 to 100 points in every New Game Plus. So once you reach level 99, you don't have to get more XP. If you want more ability points, just start a New Game Plus and collect as much points as you want to. Please don't forget to check out all the detailed videos in the description of this video as well, and please don't forget to subscribe, leave me a like, and see you next time.